Welcome to this Strategic Explainer. Right off the bat, we are bypassing the basic textbook definitions today. We are stepping straight into the examiner's mind for an absolute masterclass on the Cambridge AS and A-Level Accounting 9706 syllabus. Our primary target? The preparation of ledger accounts. Now look, we aren't just here to balance T accounts today. Any textbook can show you how to do that. Instead, we are going to reverse engineer the exact cognitive strategies that Cambridge examiners demand for those elusive top-tier marks. Think of this as a high-stakes, highly analytical session where we dissect the syllabus step by step using direct, unvarnished insights pulled straight from the principal examiner reports. So get ready to shift your perspective.
15%. Let that number sink in for a second. That is exactly how much of your total marks in Paper 2 are dictated by the preparation of ledger accounts. This single topic is an absolute heavyweight in the syllabus. It's not just a minor question you can afford to gloss over. It can literally dictate your final grade. It's the difference between a B and an A star. Therefore, mastering the technical nuances and the underlying theory of this topic isn't just a casual recommendation. It is your absolute priority if you want to secure those top-tier marking bands.
So that begs the obvious question. If it's really that important, why do brilliant, talented candidates consistently struggle here? Year after year, the examiner reports show students hitting a massive wall. Let's think about two types of students. Let's call the first one Alex. Alex is highly technical, excels at memorizing every single T account format, but completely freezes when asked to evaluate suspense account evidence in an open-ended, unfamiliar scenario. Then we have Sam. Sam is a creative thinker, strong at making arguments, but totally struggles with structural precision, strict formatting, and managing time. Both of these archetypes lose marks because they struggle with multi-stage analysis and failed to secure vital method marks. They misunderstand the command words. Today, we're going to fix exactly that for both the Alexes and the Sams out there.
Here is our structured syllabus for today. 1. The examiner's lens. 2. Technical methodology. 3. The method mark strategy. 4. Examiner warnings and traps. And 5. A final strategy recap.
Section 1. The examiner's lens. Core Principles of Accounting 9706.
The syllabus explicitly states that top-performing students exhibit a, and I quote, connected conceptual understanding transferable to unfamiliar context. Okay, so what does this actually mean for you in the exam room? It means rote memorization of a depreciation ledger is only going to get you a fraction of the way there. You must demonstrate true, deep mastery by taking fundamental accounting principles and seamlessly applying them to entirely unseen business structures and incredibly complex, high-tariff scenarios. If the question asks you to evaluate rather than just analyze, or asks to what extent rather than simply explain, your conceptual understanding has to be flexible enough to pivot instantly.
The theoretical architecture of a flawless, full-mark answer rests on precise definitions and a really deep understanding of causal relationships. But here is the ultimate secret weapon, pulled directly from the principal examiner reports: cross-topic integration. Candidates who explicitly link their ledger accounts to, say, partnership changes or control account reconciliations achieve significantly higher marks. Examiners are practically begging for the big picture. They want to see that you understand how a single entry ripples through the entire financial ecosystem.
Moving on to Section 2, Technical Methodology, the procedural framework.
To perform under intense exam pressure, you absolutely must deploy a standardized 6-step sequence for any complex question. First, strictly deconstruct the question's command words. Isolate exactly what is being asked and the hidden constraints of the prompt. Second, extract the specific financial data from the stimulus texts. Third, select your analytical framework. Fourth, execute the ledger entries with crystal clear step-by-step notation. Fifth, verify your balances for reasonableness. And sixth, present your findings professionally. Listen, if you skip even one of these steps, if you rush the deconstruction or ignore the verification, you will drop marks unnecessarily.
Step 6 is where incredibly talented students just bleed points. Examiners demand strict, uncompromising adherence to professional accounting conventions. We are talking about proper dates, highly distinct balance BD and CD notations, exactly correct terminology, and clear narrative details placed precisely in the correct columns. Your underlying arithmetic can be absolutely flawless, but if your presentation violates these strict professional standards, you will be heavily penalized. Now, before we tackle the absolute hardest part of the syllabus, let's just pause the session for a quick second. If you are serious about unlocking these top-tier marking bands, you need consistent strategy. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for Ace the Exams IGCSE O and A levels at acetheexam_IGCSE. Make sure you enable all notifications right now. Hit that bell so you never miss a weekly Cambridge breakthrough strategy like this one. We are deconstructing these exams so you don't have to. All right, let's get back into the masterclass.
Section 3, the Method Mark Strategy, Unlocking Points for Process.
Okay, let's talk about the Method Mark Strategy. This is an assessment protocol where you are explicitly rewarded for demonstrating your analytical process. Showing clear, logical, systematic working earns you incredibly valuable marks, even if your final calculation is totally off. Think about it. If you calculate a complex accrual perfectly, but make a really simple, silly arithmetic error when adding up the final ledger total under time pressure, your clear working out is your insurance policy. It captures those method marks. Never do the math solely in your head. Put the process on the page.
To push into the very top marking bands, hitting assessment objectives 2 and 3, you must activate higher order evaluative thinking. Don't just act like a calculator processing the numbers. Question the accounting policies used in the source data. Consider different perspectives and alternative interpretations. What would be the impact of choosing a different depreciation method on this specific ledger? Compare different analytical approaches, and above all else, always justify your decisions and recommendations with hard, numerical evidence. A beautifully written paragraph means nothing if it isn't backed by the numbers you just calculated.
Section 4, Examiner Warnings and Traps, Spotting the Flaw in Examiner Reports.
We combed meticulously through years of examiner reports to isolate the absolute fatal mistakes that cost students top-tier grades every single year. Consider this an interactive workshop segment. If you were grading a poorly written student answer right now, what flaws would you look for? Here are the top 3 traps set by examiners. 1. Narrative explanations are far too vague. Examiners are practically begging for specific, concrete details. 2. Completely ignoring the requested format and presentation of the ledger. And 3, this is the biggest one, providing generic, memorized responses that are entirely detached from the specific context given in the exam.
The classic examiner alert is the jarring difference between a generic textbook answer and a context-specific one. Let me be clear. A factually true definition earns exactly 0 higher-level marks if it doesn't apply directly to the stimulus. You must link every single point, every ledger entry, every evaluation, every justification directly to the specific business material provided in your booklet. If your written answer could theoretically apply to any business in the world, it is simply not a good answer for this specific exam question. Context is everything.
Section 5. Final Strategy Recap. The Examiner's Playbook.
Let's synthesize this entire masterclass into some core, memorable pillars you can take into the exam hall. Remember this ultimate deconstruct, solve, evaluate protocol. We call it the 3-step question scan, combined with the paragraph balance formula and the last 5 minutes review checklist. First, identify the financial data precisely. Second, break complex multi-stage errors down into logical bite-sized steps. Third, solve systematically, explicitly showing all your journal entries and working out to grab those method marks. Fourth, check your final figures for accounting reasonableness in those final 5 minutes. And fifth, make perfectly justified recommendations based purely on the numerical evidence you just generated.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful directive straight from the Cambridge Assessment Framework. To achieve top marks in the preparation of ledger accounts, your ultimate goal is to, quote, demonstrate evaluative thinking by evaluating alternatives, comparing approaches, and providing justified recommendations, end quote. That right there, that is the absolute gold standard for your ledger analysis. That is how you turn a good paper into an exceptional one.
So, ask yourself right now, are your cross-topic connections truly ready for the exam room? Don't just memorize the format and hope for the best. Go back to your past papers today, review your own ledgers, and actively deploy this analytical masterclass strategy. If you want to consistently crush Cambridge exams, you have to think exactly like the examiner. And remember, crushing these exams requires consistent strategy. So hit that subscribe button for Ace the Exams IGCSE O and A levels at acetheexam_IGCSE. Turn on the notification bell for more essential exam hacks, and leave a comment down below right now with your exact target grade. Keep studying smart, put these strategies into practice, and I'll see you in the next explainer.